Hello everybody, this is Tea Time Terror here. We're gonna play some Dungeon of the Endless. It was one of my favorite games. I particularly like Amplitude games, um, such as Endless Space, Dungeon of the Endless, of course, and Endless Legend, things like that. Um, and I feel like this hasn't necessarily gotten the coverage it deserves. It's a little old now, but we're gonna jump right in and see how things go. Got some delightful pixel work animation there. Um, for the first run, I think we're probably just going to take the default 2. Um, Mostly just because it seems to be a good starting point to learn the game. I do have a couple DLCs enabled. Nothing too important at the moment. So yeah, let's just jump in. We're going to be playing with Max O'Kane. He's an opportunist. He has... I've picked him 3 times. I've picked Saranumis 2 times. She's died once. Saranumis is pretty fast. Obviously an anagram of Samus Aran. Deals a moderate amount of damage, not too tanky or anything, not too intelligent. But Max is going to make up for some of those things. He's a tiny bit tankier. He's significantly more intelligent, though. So let's just jump in. Alright, so we have crash landed here into the Dungeon of the Endless. And this is going to be our primary game screen here. We're going to skip the tutorial and I'll just explain things here. So this is our crystal. And our goal, or the crystal provides power to everything that we have based on our amount of dust here. So every 10 dust we get will improve the capacity of our crystal, and that'll let us power more rooms, and I'll explain that in a second. So what we're trying to do is we're going to try to find the exit to this floor, and then we're going to try to take this crystal with us. So to start out here, let's just open up the door. And we're probably going to have some... oh, no enemies here. So we found 10 dust when we entered the room, and just by middle clicking here I can power up the room. So monsters will not spawn in lit rooms, and that's going to be pretty integral, especially when we get to closer to the end of the floor. And this square thing in the center here is actually a module station. So we can place a larger module here, and these will generate resources for us. These are the default 3 you start with. I don't believe there's any way to augment that. And we also have prisoner prods here, which are offensive modules, or like minor modules we'll call them, that we can place in any of these smaller slots. So these will generate science, industry, and food respectively. Food is used to upgrade and heal heroes, occasionally to recruit new heroes. We'll see if we get to that later. Science will let us research things if we find a research crystal. And industry will let us build more modules. So I'm going to start off with an industry generator here. And on this first floor I'm not too concerned about big monsters showing up, so I'm just going to move on from that. And we seem to have found a science generator here. So if we build up some science, I'd probably like to get this industry generator 3. The Tesla module is pretty good. It's just kind of an alternative to the prisoner prod. Suppressive firebot's going to increase the damage of our heroes in any room that they are sharing. And the pepper spray is going to target the most powerful enemy in the room and get it to attack the other enemies. And I don't necessarily like these that much. But anyway, we're just going to move on here. And I'm just using the 1 and 2 hotkeys to control these heroes. So here's our first bit of combat, and it's pretty simple. Our heroes are just gonna, do that on their own. They're quite competent in figuring that out usually. And we don't quite have enough industry yet to place down another major module. So with this room powered, we are just going to move on and hope that this industry generator down here gets some good work in for us. So just fighting off this little guy here. We did get extra dust so we can power this room. And there's nothing else in that room. So 27, we need 25. I'm really interested in getting that industry generator 3 from the research crystal. So I'm going to place down a science generator, and that's just going to add to our total production there. I'm not usually too incredibly worried about food early on. You shouldn't usually need to heal during waves on these early floors. So this is going to be the first round where we don't have enough dust to light up a room at the beginning of a section of opening a door. So now, since this room is not lit, monsters could spawn here. Doesn't mean necessarily that they will, but they could. Does not look like they did. There's usually some form of indication. And again, we did not get enough dust to power another room. So now is kind of when you're not necessarily falling behind, but it does kind of stack up. You will have quite a few rooms that you won't be able to power. And that can stack up pretty quickly on you, especially on later floors. So let's just continue moving along here. We could build another module after this round, but I'm not sure if we will. I do usually like to take some amount of production down to the next floor with me. So it looks like there was nothing there as well. Kind of getting an unlucky draw here a little bit. Pretty low on dust, got 3 rooms that we can't power already, and we're opening a 4th. And our heroes do have abilities in addition. So, and equipment. So I guess I'll just go over that now. So Saranumis is a little less tanky than Max O'Kane here. So I tend to give her the first bit of equipment that we find. And that's just going to give her an extra 3 defense. Ups her defense to 16. We could level up our heroes with food here, and I think I might do that for Max O'Kane here. So these two do also have active and passive skills. She can give herself plus 20 speed with runaway. Some prefer to use the term advance to the rear. And that's just on a 2-room cooldown. So we open 2 doors and it will be off cooldown. And that lasts for 9 seconds. We've also got your back. So she gets plus 10% defense when grouped with other heroes they trust. Max O'Kane here, he's got Pack of Dogs, attack power plus 6% when their mates are nearby. And he just gives us a passive plus 2 science just all the time. I think this research costs 55 if I recall correctly. I might be completely misremembering that though. But I do want to get that start of 65. We might not be able to get that this floor because these do take 3 turns to complete their research. And if you do not have enough doors for that, I believe it just wastes your resources. I usually don't chance it that much. So we do have 2 doors visible here though, so maybe I'm willing to doubt we get to it, but it is possible. And I think we are going to level up Max O'Kane here. He's going to get verbal abuse and a few extra stats in addition. So that's an activatable on a 3-room cooldown for 9 seconds. We can give our heroes a bit of a boost there. So that might be good. Let's just continue on here. At this point, mostly just looking for the exit. Oh, and we did have other spawns here. We are going to back up a bit here. Oh. Well, that's a pretty... yeah. So I got super greedy there. I just got kind of really well adjusted to no extra monsters spawning, so there were a few spawns there that tend to track down your heroes. But I'm going to keep that just because it's a pretty good introduction to what we're doing here, and it's a good readjustment for me to playing this again. I haven't played this in quite a while. So I'll be a little more careful next time. I was kind of wrapped up in explaining things. So yeah, I'll be back with another run shortly, and we'll see how that goes. Have a good one, everybody.